first 6 months, I got an official promotion out of executive assistant into a sort of fake title that we made up for me, and started to take on more of the chief of staff roles. But it was always described to me as like the difference between tactical and strategic. And that's really what it is. By the time I'd spent a year and a half working for Howard, before I was stepping into the chief of staff role, felt pretty confident in my ability to take on the chief of staff role, having seen Tim do it, having worked really closely with Tim and worked really closely with Howard. But I was actually surprised when I did step into it. It's a pretty big mindset shift. I used to be like on top of every single tiny little detail and know every little detail about Howard's schedule and, what was going on at Yext. But just knowing the details, not actually like, I did think about the big picture, but that wasn't my main responsibility. And so that mindset shift of really like zooming out, I would say, and being like, okay, let's step back. What are our big priorities here? Not just like, what meeting do I need to schedule, or how are we prepping Howard for this? Or like, even like, what small project can I take on? But like, what are the real priorities for Yext and the places where I can make an impact? And I think, at least in the way that my chief of staff role is set up at Yext, I have some responsibilities that are, structured and predictable and given to me, but I also am responsible for finding a lot of my own work and my own meaning and my own, impact, right? And that was a big surprise to me too. It's definitely in the executive assistant role, it's more clear what you have to do to be successful. And I think it's less clear in a chief of staff role what your impact can or should be. And you have to spend a lot of time exploring that with your exec and with your team. But